What is up? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Sunday night live stream. Just checking in with everybody. How's everybody doing? How's everybody's weekend going? I got a ton of work to get to this week, which is it's a good problem to have, but it's super no downtime, which is odd for us. Let me go through really quick. I do want to say that we are setting up a few different things here on the YouTube channel, but also over on Patreon, which I'll get to in a minute. I do want to thank the channel members that we do have here on this channel. Gary Carnell, D. Tolls, Mark Morales, B1062, Darwin Hooks, True Results, HTX, Brian Sanders, Chevy Runner 88, Rage Metal Freak, Lost But One, Mark Harris, and our newest one, which I think I shouted out last time, Quenga. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but appreciate all the YouTube channel members. That is just to help in the smallest way that you guys can. That's like a $2 membership. And of course, that helps me with shipping, coming up with new designs, getting merch designed and done, and all that kind of stuff that I do on the back end. So whenever I get a logo done, or I draw them myself, but every time I get a logo done for sticker designs or shirt designs, or any merch that I want to do, that costs money. I won't spend this much again, but I once spent like $250 on a logo, which I don't even use anymore. So there's a lot of money that goes into the back end stuff. So thank you to the channel members here on YouTube. And oh no, so my in-laws are gonna be upset. As far as the Cowboys go. Anyway, yeah, that helps with that stuff. I appreciate you guys, and I think on YouTube it probably won't be live until tomorrow, but there are going to be other tiers, and we're going to have a Patreon set up just because I've been asked. I don't really push any of that kind of stuff, but again, if I don't put it out there, people are like, well, where can I help you out? Where can I donate? Where can I get something? And there's going to be a different tier now that'll allow you to get some perks. So I think I have it pulled up real quick. The next one will be the second tier. There's going to be one on YouTube and one on Patreon, which is going to be where you can be entered in like giveaways. So another thing I wanted to kind of announce here is that we have so much crap piling up, and a lot of it is like videos that I haven't had a chance to do yet. And a lot of it's tool reviews or testing products or anything that these companies, work with me on. It piles up, and I'm not going to use it all. Sometimes my employees get first dibs, but again, it just ends up taking up a whole bunch of space. So we're going to start giving them out, and at least right now, it's going to go towards this kind of like membership Patreon thing. We can do some one-on-one. That would be another thing, is I need to finish what I'm doing with it. But yeah, like giving away stuff monthly, like tools, like bigger ticket items and some small stuff mixed in. And then I have another one set up because I also get or test every now and then like merch. So you guys can get some of that stuff that I order in a bulk of like 10 to 20 that I need to get or test, or keychains or stickers that I'm trying out. Whatever it is, we'll put that in another tier that you get that frequently. So again, just putting it out there for people that have asked, multiple ways to kind of help and get something back. So there we go. What are those things called? They're called like the cameo thing, where you can pay a celebrity to do like a message, a personalized message for you, right? I thought about doing a tier, but it'll have to be added here for people, because I get tons of questions, and I'm so sorry that I cannot answer them all. I try to answer the ones that I can, which are the quicker, like straightforward answers. But if somebody's asking me, like I had a couple recently that I saw, and I see them weeks later, months later, and they're like, "Oh, I have this walk-in cooler that it's doing this and this, and I don't know what to do," and they need help troubleshooting, and of course, there's tech support for them, to call the manufacturer, or who's another one, like HVA Chicks has their tech support. Like there's a few that do it, right? I don't see those, and I feel so bad because I have so many messages and stuff. So another tier, I think I can do chats here on Patreon, but maybe a tier where I can actually see your questions, and if it's like you need some training or troubleshooting, I can do that. It's just I've never wanted to do it because I don't like charging for things, but it's gotten very overwhelming to trying to get to everybody's comments and messages. So again, just putting it out there. You don't have to buy it. You don't need to even look at it. It's give away the Milwaukee press tool. I am actually going to probably press tomorrow, and it's going to be a new press. We're going away from RLS, and we're going to give this other company a shot, and we'll see how it does. Kickstarter for 2K. It's a camera headset with open ear audio. I don't think so. Well, look, if I'm being honest, that's a lot of bread. If I'm being honest, it's very hard for me to. So it's very hard for me to give away big ticket items that are here because the freaking shipping is like $50 or whatever, right? So that is very hard, or not realistic, not reasonable. And I've thought about giving them away to local techs, and there's only a few that I might do that with, like 2 or 3. But if this can get covered with a low cost membership from, whoever wants to be in those tiers, and, let's say you pay $15 a month or $18 a month, whatever it is, and you get a $3,000 tool, it didn't cost me anything, and the shipping's covered. So that's the way I'm trying to think about it. So, no, Mike, I'm being serious. That is the whole point, or the idea to go with this is I'm going to end up with my 3rd press tool, probably by next year. I don't need them all. And I may give one to the guys as like a loaner in the shop, and I might carry one on me. I might not even need one if I'm not doing as much service like next year if we hire another guy or two. So there are certain things, and Milwaukee sends me stuff sometimes that I don't even need. So if I'm being honest, I just need the shipping covered. So that is the whole point with that. So if anybody, I think on YouTube it'll be live tomorrow. There is a link for the Patreon here in this video. If you sign up for those tiers, you'll be entered in those giveaways. And a press tool is not far-fetched. It might not be the first thing I give away, but Vito bags, Milwaukee tools, things of that nature, thermal imagers. I get a lot of thermal imagers, so I don't need them all. Testo stuff. UEI just sent me something. I don't need all this stuff. So I'm just being, transparent and honest that I'm trying to put something in motion and something set to where it helps me cover these costs, and I can do it versus losing hundreds of dollars a month to try and cover these giveaways, So that's not far-fetched. There is stuff like that will get given away. I don't like to hoard stuff. So everything, and I even put in the description, everything needs to go. I hate hoarding. Yeah, Mike's like, oh, okay. We're serious. Yes, we are. Well, we'll see. I'm doing it this way, just because it's easier to cover, and it could be like a whole bunch of stuff. I'll pay for it. What's up, Jesus? You teach at a community college? Out of what state or what area? Look, another thing I want to do at some point. We got Jason that would enter as well if you got a chance for some red. Something else I had wanted to do was kind of help out, but it is so difficult. I have not had a shoulder season or downtime or off season, anything like that. It's been hard. Um, Eventually, one of the things or I wanted to do was to use my connections to help like younger techs or guys that are in these, um, memberships, just because I wanted to be somebody that's serious. I don't want to like pick somebody and I've done this before. I've done giveaways. I pick somebody and they don't answer, and I got to go find another person, and maybe they don't answer this and that. So that's happened before. So like the putting the price on it is just like I said, to cover the shipping, and also the people that are serious about it. But I've thought about how to help schools or companies where I could be like, hey, Milwaukee, hey, who else am I working with? Like Ambro Controls, hey, so and so, they need this or they need that. Can we hook them up? Can we do something where we give it away? Um, I'm looking more into that now, because in the past I've tried to do extravagant giveaways and all this sorts of stuff. Tried to do the veto giveaways, regularly, but it gets so hectic. So, and the companies are don't help. The companies also forget to give things out. I got to follow up. Hey, so and so's like, hey, I didn't get my item. I didn't get this. I didn't get that. So it's always hectic. I'm just trying to streamline it, because I think now from now on, what I would love to do is hold it here and then just ship it out myself, so I know it got sent out. Another one was Klein Tools. I tried doing some stuff with Klein Tools, and they never sent the thing out, the winner out, their tools, and then I had to just end up buying the tools locally and sending them myself, because the guy was like, they're not answering me. They never said anything. Then they ghosted me, and I'm like, what the hell, Klein Tools? And yeah, I just went and bought the tools myself and sent them out, and I'm like, screw it, I'll take the loss on it, because Klein was super, yeah, let's do it, let's give away something, and then like silence. And they read my messages. Just saying. Dude, I have a good relationship with Woobin and Olight now. Um, so I'm gonna try and edit a video later for flashlights. Like I have this cool. I think this is it Sofern? I've heard this was a good brand too. It's hard to show. Sofern. They sent me like this was on Kickstarter. It's a cool looking flashlight. It doesn't have a clip or any magnets on it. It's kind of just like a novelty item. And I could give these away because I don't need 20 flashlights piling up here. So again, those are companies I can talk to. I can talk to Olight. I can talk to Woobin, and tell them, hey, let's give some stuff out. And if they give multiple, then multiple people can get them. Because I do have the X4. This is my favorite freaking flashlight. Which one would you get specifically, Mike, on the roller bag? Because my guys have really liked the new blackout one, the Tech MC. I gave mine to one of my guys, and now my dad wants one. And I tried giving him that one, and he gave it to the technician. And my dad's like that too. He's real like, oh, if you want something, I'll give it to you. So he gives it to the employees, right? And then I go look, and I'm like, where's that Vito bag I gave you? He's like, oh, so and so needed it. So I need to get him another wheeler. But which one in particular do you like? What is up, Brian? Oh, where's my overlay? Today's live stream is brought to you by Ambro Controls. I will be doing some videos possibly this week or next week. And they're not Ambro reviews. They are brazing videos that I'm going to be showing you with their set, with a regular set, and maybe a turbo torch. I have all of them. So we'll try it out. I need to explain to some guys because I get asked a lot about the brazing and stuff. Like, what's the difference? Or why not use a turbo torch? A lot of you that have tried it, that do similar work, maybe have the same issues. It's too loud. It's too hot. And I would say it's for outside use only. And I work in kitchens. So, like tomorrow I got to do if you guys saw that video that I posted, the short video of and I showed it last week on nights, the brazing on that TXV that somebody did, I got approved to go tear it out and repipe it. I'm probably going to try and fix some of it. I've personally been able to I've had success patching the distributor ends, or whatever you call it, where the TXV goes, and then you have the lines coming out of it, the distributor lines. I've had luck patching those because those do leak quite a bit. Somebody tried. My leak detector was going off in that area, so I'm going to try to patch their patch, and then I'm going to try and redo maybe one other joint that they did, and the rest of it I'm going to try and take it out and redo it completely, because that thing is leaking pretty bad now after a few days. We topped it off. It worked fine, but it's leaking again. So that one I got to do, like I said, tomorrow. And the Ambro precision tip is going to come in clutch, because if you guys ever work on any sort of walk-in, you have your TXV and you have your solenoid. You don't have a lot of room. And if you do ceiling mounts, they are crammed in there, right? So the smaller the flame, the better. I need it to be hot, obviously, to do it quickly, but I can't have a turbo torch in that situation whatsoever. It'll burn everything in there. So that's where I'm going to need that precision tip. And if you don't have the Ambro Controls, you can use a regular oxyacetylene and then just have different tips. So I used to always use a number 2 on my oxyacetylene. You can get a 0. You can get something else to fit your need, like a bigger flame, a smaller flame. I was just always bad. I did a number 2 for everything, and I got it to work. I would just kind of manipulate the size of the flame by adjusting the knobs and stuff. But you risk starving your flame, which I'll go over in that video, because it's a little pet peeve of mine when people have their flames like not set correctly, and you get that weird hissing torch. So I'll go over all of that, but tomorrow I'm going to need that precision, and it's a super tight spot, because even where I'm going to be, it takes up almost a whole room. I got like less than a foot, or maybe a foot at most, from the wall. So I'm going to be like trying to get up in there. It's going to be fun. We'll see how it goes. Oh, you're teaching in San Antonio. Bright kids, older folks. That's awesome, man. I had good luck or experience at my college. It was a community college turned full college, and they offered HVAC. The university doesn't. I actually went to the university first because I was going to go for mechanical engineering, and then I quickly figured out I didn't want to do that. So I went to my community college that is now a college, and I had good luck. The guys were great. There was a lot of cool people that I took the class with. We learned a lot. There was a lot of hands-on stuff. So that's really cool. That's really cool to hear. San Antonio is like 3.5 hours away from me. I think we're going to take the kids up there pretty soon. Yeah, there you go. Number 0, you're supposed to change them out. I just never did. I know you're kidding, Freon. I've gotten after guys. I don't know if I mentioned it on nights or not. I mentioned it to someone recently. I've gotten after guys for using the whole damn rod. I'm like, you need like very little of it. And that stuff's not cheap, right? I would get to some of these job sites when I used to help some of the older techs that we had. I would get there and I would see solder everywhere and a big blob of it on the line set. And then like he's holding like a little piece of it. And I'm like, was that a brand new freaking rod? And he's like, yeah. I must have talked about it with Jake, right? I have brazing rods that are in my van that have been there forever because I buy a big pack and they last me forever. You don't need much. Yeah, you brought back like some memories there of me getting after guys. What is up, Vic? The bird shit. That's what I'm going to talk about too, Victor. I have that tip. I have that jeweler's setup for my oxyacetylene. I do think it makes a big difference. If you're not going to switch to Ambros, that's perfectly fine. I would consider at least getting that tip with that flexible hose. Because once I did that was amazing. Because the hose always pissed me off. Like trying to unravel it and get it out of the way and, you know, all that kind of stuff. When you switch to like a flexible hose with that smaller tip, you can buy one. And I think it's like $100, something like that. Big difference. So Ambro has something like that for theirs, but you can get one. And I need to double check if if they actually fit on each other. I don't remember. I think they're the same hookups. Appreciate it, man. I had to take a adult only getaway this weekend. I actually just drove back from Corpus this afternoon. Let me see, where was I? I've had decent luck with the distributor tubes. I usually heat up the area right in front and push the braze over the hole. Yeah, I've done. I don't even think I've done more than a handful, but I've had good luck. And I think I mentioned it with Jake. I don't know if it was on air or off air. I think we were talking about some other company that I've seen that has like, you know, a lot of guys on the job site, and they take a little longer, right? They take their time. I miss those days. I can't really do that because it's like in and out. I got to get this done in a timely manner. I got to go help so and so. I got to go help so and so. I got to be back at my desk to print out stuff or email and all that kind of stuff. So everything's a blur right now. But when we started, and I took advantage of it, I mean, I remember everything. I had time to work on something all day or for hours, or I'll come back tomorrow and finish it and this and that. I miss that because that's when, like, I've experimented with stuff. So like doing the distributor tubes is from experience when I had time and I didn't have calls piling up that I could be like, hey, yeah, we can give it a shot. We can fix it. So I mean, it's different because I run a business with my dad. If you're, because like my employees and our guys that work for us, our new guys, I try to remind them all the time, like, hey, you are there to take your time. Take your time. I'll deal with the customer. I'll deal with, how we timesheet it. I have one right now that's a little bit like, oh, kind of conscious about how long we're taking. So if I need to, if an apprentice is there like 2 to 3 hours and it's like a 1.5, 2 hour job, I'll shave the time. And, they still get, employee still gets paid for what they did, but we're training on their time, right? So there's a lot of that going on right now. I just had to deal with that actually, where he took a while to clean a coil on a reach-in, clean a coil, kind of check his amperage and, his due diligence, checking the evap, checking the drain, checking everything. And then he's like, oh, I think it took me like 3 hours. I was like, okay, I need to shave that a little bit. And then I'm actually going to have to go and finish it because we got a restriction. So I got to cut it open and make sure we get that taken care of. I think it's the dryer, so we'll get that swapped out. And I'm going to end up doing it so that we can get that done. I don't think that's going to take me more than an hour, right? So that's where we're at, where we are at right now. And that one tomorrow, I'm going to have the morning to do. So I'm going to try and patch that distributor tube. And then, like I said, maybe the next one we're going to redo it. And then everything after that is going to get cut out. Because there's like, it's a distributor, right? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 joints that I got to redo. And I feel better cutting it out. For the Ambro torches, I need to. They'll be in there. I need to hit them up because we're doing this whole thing right now where they're kind of, a sponsor of the stream. I have some of their stuff. I'll see what I can put together, and if anything, I'll have them send me another one. Those things are legit. My oxyacetylene set is in my garage and it's been there. I might even give it to one of the guys because I never want to be caught with those again. They're too heavy. I'm not lifting them up on the roof. So yeah, I'll kind of do a post and show what I have right now. And then just make sure you check it out. As far as the YouTube membership or the Patreon, they're going to count kind of the same. The prices are a little bit different because I got to take into consideration YouTube takes a bigger chunk out than Patreon. So whichever one you pick, it's going to be listed out there how it works. Just make sure you read through it. Yeah, that tech. Ooh, I have one of them, or I'm waiting for one of them to come in. That is maybe that one, but it's an infrared one. That has the backpack option and the side meter pouches. I think that one's really cool. All of my apprentices, so we have 2. The third one is coming next summer. The first apprentice that started with us has outgrown his tool bag. He is literally trying to clip as much shit as he can on the sides. And I'm like, we need to move you up to like a Tech MCT or something like that. Like a medium-sized bag, because definitely outgrown it. He's been doing hot and cold side, so that's why he kind of has more stuff to carry around. And then our other apprentice is like a helper, so I'm gonna try and set him up with his initial like tool loadout, like a initial like small bag with hand tools and stuff. So I need to get that going. All right, let me get back to where we're at here now. From drugs to tools. There you go. It's a better way to spend your money. Spend it on something that can make you money. That's awesome to hear, though. Uh, you see it too many times, and sometimes they don't, make that change. That would be another one. I don't need. I bought the Klein bit holders because I had a coupon, like a $10 coupon. We'll throw those in a giveaway, right? I need to give those away too. It's an addiction for sure. Truck is so packed with tools, extra cab, when enclosed bed, side boxes, no empty space at all. There you go. Yeah, I don't know what's up with YouTube. Because even when I have a guest on, I can hear them fine. You guys were saying that it might be cutting out. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. Practical tips from James. Lose your fear and gain confidence. Are you asking me for my advice, or you are saying you need to lose your fear and gain confidence? So my whole thing is like, you need to be confident but not cocky. So that's always my deal is, and I've been on both sides. I've been too cocky where I screw up really bad. And then when I've gotten confident, it's when I'm like, put anything in front of me and I can fix it. And the only way you get there obviously is with experience. So I mean, everybody's different. The way they did it with me, but when I say they, I mean my dad, is we used to work together because I was technically the helper who was going to school for HVAC. I got my license in my early 20s, mid 20s, and I had very little experience, like with anything like super tough. So I worked with a few guys. We had a refrigeration guy that I had to work with for a while too when I was actually full time. And yeah, my dad used to work with me, and then he would disappear, and you start like, shit. Well, I gotta finish working, and then the customer will come and check on you and this and that. So that was like a trial by fire type of deal, like sink or swim, like get out there, just do it, figure it out. So that's how I learned it. But again, like you said there, like lose your fear. Basics will get you out of anything. Learning a schematic is a big, like it'll leap you ahead of other guys, because you'll be surprised how many don't know how to read a schematic or don't know what they're looking at half the time. So learning a schematic, learning the refrigeration cycle, what everything does. I can only talk about like my experience. So once I figured out that all these safeties, thermostats, anything in between, electrical, solenoid valves, they're all switches. You have voltage that goes to them and through them, and depending on how it works, if it's based on pressure, based on temperature, it's just going to open or close. That is most of your safeties in refrigeration, HVAC or commercial refrigeration. Once I figured that out, I'm like, oh, okay, right? You got a coil for your contactors, and that's a switch. It's an on and off switch. Same thing with your thermostats. It's just switch into each color or letter, however you want to look at it. Everything is just switches, and something triggers it to open or close it. So that's when I understood that. That opened my eyes, and then once I could confidently read a schematic, but I had a head start because of school. I just took my time and sat down. And sometimes you'll just sit down just to stare at a schematic or stare at a unit, look at all the wiring, and just understand what the hell you're looking at. Like, take the time to understand it just by staring at this piece of equipment. You might look dumb for a good while, and then you're like, oh, okay, this wire feeds this, what I need over here. This is not working. Oh, I'm losing power here. You know, you lose it somewhere typically. And that's all it is. So a very simple answer, but keep it simple. Your basics and schematics is a big deal. And then don't be afraid of because like lately, what I've been trying to, like what we talked about is on the business side, like raising prices or this or that. You got to be confident in yourself. So, you know, you won't know something until you try it. You won't, you know, be able to fix something unless you volunteer to work on it, or you're like, I'm going to be the tech that goes out there. If you're a helper, I'm going to get you, hey, I'm going to go get the vacuum. Hey, I'm going to go get this, and let me hook it up. Let me do it. I've seen you do it a few times. And then on the business side, like knowing your worth, talking to the customer, because a lot of times if you explain it to them and talk to them like, you know, like they know something, like you can actually educate them and talk to them instead of being like, you know, oh, they wouldn't understand. Like, talk to them, and then they'll approve a lot of these things. Like the one I'm doing tomorrow, I overshot and gave a quote because I wanted to make sure I covered if it went south, if it went wrong, if I had to do more. And I was like, there's no way he's gonna say yes, right? I'm gonna give him that option and give him a whole new system, or not a new system, but a new evaporator, because they've already had the condenser replaced by somebody. And I'm like, he'll say no, it's too much, whatever. Immediately said yes. So tomorrow I got to go do that repair. And then he said that starting next year, they're going to start replacing equipment. So you never know. You never know until you try. You never know until you say something. And it goes for both being a technician or being a business owner. Oh, there was another comment that I was trying to get to. Also, just to go back to the like the Patreon and YouTube membership, I will take suggestions also from the members of those giveaway tiers, because also a lot of times I can just ask for things, right? So if you want something from Hillmore, you want something from Ambro, you want something from Milwaukee, I might ask you, what would you guys want to see, you know, given away next month or something like that. So I'll do polls and questions and things like that as far as, you know, these monthly giveaways. I'm going to try and get rid of what I have currently, which is a lot of like Testo and Vito stuff. UEI, like I said, is going to send me something. So I'll get through all of this, and then we'll get to some bigger items. I had to go way back. Jonathan, appreciate the comment there. I don't know if you're still here. Calix, yes, I've been great. Just super busy, and I'll get to that in a minute. What's up, C Young? Again, I don't know if you guys are still here. I'm trying to get back to where I had missed earlier. Okay. What is up, Rudy? Of course, everything leaks. Man, so I took, we took the weekend to go to Corpus Christi, just to get away, go do a few things, be by the water and all that kind of stuff. But it's a little different when you're a business owner. So There was a few times where I got like annoyed and stressed out on this trip because my phone was still going off and the guy was like, "Hey, I need somebody out here now." And I'm like, "Damn it, I'm not out. I'm not in town. Let me see who I can get." And one of our apprentices went, thankfully, because the other guy wasn't available. And then another call came in, which my brother went to go take care of. And then I had to do scheduling because we have the emergency call scheduled for tomorrow. I was trying to squeeze in another one, but it might have to wait till Tuesday. And I'm going back and forth, which I don't think the guy has texted me back yet. So hopefully that's just go ahead, do what you need to do, right? Maybe no answer is a good thing. And then pricing and stuff. And I'm like, man. So even when I try to take these vacations, mini vacations, going out of town for a bit, my phone is still blowing up because so many things need to get done. So I try. Oh, we were there. We were there yesterday. We left this morning. What are you doing in Corpus? Are you there for the holiday? I have to work tomorrow, so we have to come back today. All right, Kitchen Cowboy. See you later. So, yeah, I try to enjoy my time out there, but it was a little annoying getting these calls. As soon as I got in there, my phone started ringing, and then this morning it was ringing again. Well, we drove out yesterday. We were there yesterday, drove out yesterday, and left this morning. Who's ready for slow season? Whoops. I was just telling my girlfriend I look forward to shoulder season, slow season, whatever y'all want to call it. That hasn't happened. I got a bunch of refrigeration work that just keeps popping up. So I got that walk-in cooler tomorrow. I got some smaller equipment on Tuesday. And I have some quotes that I'm waiting for. Oh, shit. I was supposed to do a maintenance on Tuesday. We'll see. I don't think that's going to get done now. We'll see how that goes. So then I'm going to have to push that back. And then ice machine maintenance. So we're not slow yet. Visiting family. All right, man, that's cool. It's always good to take some time out. I've been trying to travel and get out of here more because it's a lot. This year's been crazy, and then, like I said, the kids want to do something, so we where did we go? We did the whole cabin trip during the summer, and they loved it. So I want to do that again, but I don't think we should. I think we're gonna wait till a few weeks and then go up north to San Antonio or one of those, and or maybe Corpus again. We'll see. And hopefully it's a little bit cooler. I would like a cool weather vacation for them. Kind of just roam around, walk around, get out. So that it still gets slow, right? Because HVAC, your summer is your most busy season, obviously, right, for cooling. We don't get winter here, so we don't get below 60 degrees. We have like 1 week or two that possibly gets into the 40s, but it's not every year. So I think last year, I don't think we got any cold weather last year. And sometimes we have a hot Thanksgiving, a hot Christmas, like 80s. So that happens a lot too. And as far as refrigeration, that used to slow down. This year and last year, it hasn't. And a lot of that is also old equipment is finally giving out, right? Like we have a lot of old R22 equipment that we're trying to, it's like the last pieces of R22 equipment that we can try and get rid of. and they're leaking like crazy. So we're trying to get them a new system, and it's just this year in particular we've mentioned maintenance. I even had one customer that found us and specifically called us for maintenance. That has been a big one this year. It's just all the maintenance that we've been doing: ice machines, walk-ins, reach-ins, ACs. So all of those are what I take care of, right? Not to mention, which I always tell people, if you can learn the hot side, please do so. Or if your company offers that, try to watch what they do and maybe go help on those calls and learn a little bit of both. Because 84 is wonderful. That I always tell people, once it's like 90 and under, it feels fantastic. Um, so like if you can do both, that's helpful, because I'm telling our new guys, because I never learned both. I used to be a parts runner for my dad as far as like changing like thermal piles and burners and little things like that, like nothing serious. High limits on stoves and all this, like cooking equipment, right? Flat grills and all that. So I never fully understood what I was doing there, and I dove into HVAC and try to be as good as I could with that, and to continue to learn and all that kind of stuff. I'm telling our new guys, hey, and my dad's doing it too, because he's taking them with the hot side guys, which is him and our senior tech. Go help with that, and then come in and help me, and then we'll get you to learn a little bit of both, because that is way more valuable. And our company, if I go and look at invoices when I'm submitting them, there is like right now, because it is a little bit slower, there's not as many AC calls and stuff like that. It is like 10 in a row hot side, right? 10, 15 in a row. And then I'll have a walk-in cooler invoice, and then another like 5 to 10, and then an ice machine call or something, right? Our hot side is just crazy. So that always brings in good money. Now those might be lower ticket items, because they just go to adjust something or install something or change out something, and it might only be a few $100, versus like my tickets are like 700, 800, 1,000, 2,000 sometimes. Like it adds up pretty quickly, especially with like refrigerant and stuff. So I work less, but my tickets are a little higher, but our hot side is consistent. Like it's a lot of tickets, and they add up very quickly. And they also do maintenance now too. So we started doing maintenance again on dishwashers, grills, ovens, steamers. We've kind of done a lot with maintenance for our business to keep us busy every month. So at the hospital, there's a guy there every month for us doing something, right? It's one of a few guys. My brother does that too. So one of like 3 guys will be there just for maintenance. Like somebody's doing the hot side, somebody's doing the ice machine, somebody's doing the walk-ins, and so on and so forth. And I've been pitching it to other restaurants, and they've all been saying yes now. So now we're getting these kinds of maintenance contracts everywhere from every customer that we have, so that I can have consistent work for all the guys. I hate doing it, so I'm trying to make sure that they do it, because I don't want to be out there cleaning and all that. So that's what the guys are doing right now. I'm going in there doing all the more difficult calls. So tomorrow I'm going to go take care of that mess that we have in the walk-in. I'm going to go do an R290 system on Tuesday. We'll see how that goes. I've only done one other one, I think. Pretty sure I've only done one other one before this. Yeah, 100%. It is the weirdest feeling when it is 80 or 90 degrees outside. That's another one I need to try and get my hands on. NAVAC probes. So I would have to get my hands on them again, and I'm supposed to get some, and I'm supposed to get another set to give away. So I'm going to hold them to it. So there's still going to be giveaways that I do on the main channel or on my Instagram. Like I'm still going to do, like if they want to sponsor like a whole thing where you got to like follow them and comment or something like that. If they want to do that, then we're still going to do those. Because I was mentioning it earlier, I got my Patreon and my YouTube memberships that should be updated tomorrow to include giving away stuff that piles up here. So that's a whole different thing. Hvac has, and like I said, I'm going to hold them to it. I'm going to keep nagging them. Has agreed to give away a set. I don't know where they want to do it, if it's on YouTube or on Instagram. I really like their probes. They finally fixed the Measure Quick. It works in Measure Quick flawlessly, I believe now. And their app is supposed to be fixed, but I haven't seen anybody like show that. And the last thing that they needed to fix was the magnet. There's supposed to be another, and it's like the field piece psychrometers, the JB ones, that little magnet that is like on the neck. Hvac said they were going to end up doing that instead because the magnet that's built into the psychrometer is just super weak. If it's thin metal, it won't stay up. It has to be like a thick metal that you put it on. So they were going to fix that. That reminds me, I'm going to ask them again so we can give them away. But I really like the Hvac ones. The JB, they did fix the material, so they should last. I haven't had them crack. I've been using them about a week and a half now, so they haven't cracked on me. I think they did address the durability, because the first one's immediately cracked. So, oh yeah, Mike, we'll get it. You don't have to mention me. Oh, for hot side, go to Commercial Kitchen Chronicles. I am trying to bug him to do more, because the one thing about hot side, and I've thought about doing it myself, writing with one of the other senior techs or my dad. It's a lot harder, like Pat says. So Pat does Commercial Kitchen Chronicles, and he says it's just hard to record because there's so much going on. There's people around and stuff like that. Not that he's embarrassed, but it's like some of them are yelling at him, some of them are upset, and then some of them just don't want to be recorded, right? So that's always a difficult thing. I've thought about it. Maybe at one point we'll do it. But that was when I anticipated us slowing down, and it just hasn't. So I need to make time if we do that. But again, back to the JB probes. The only reason I would pick the JB probes, and the reason I personally like using them, is because they come with a charging port built in. So JBs, I think, are pretty solid now. Charging port, they work fine. They work pretty good. And I personally enjoy using the JB probes. I preferred the Hvac, but there's going to be, I guess, one con with the Hvac is they are the biggest, bulkiest ones. They still fit like in a tool bag. If you have like a screwdriver slot, like on a Beetle bag or something, they still fit in those slots, but they are the biggest ones. So they are the most thick, boxy probes. I wish they would have made them round. They would have made a big difference in storing them and how they feel. I wish they would have just rounded them out, but they're square or rectangle shape, whatever. And they're kind of hard to put in tool bags. So that's the only thing that I hate about them. Other than that, if they fixed everything with them, I like the Hvac ones. I only would say that the one way that they're better is they show you saturation temperature. So right now, like our new guy has been very good. When I ask him what's going on, when I ask him questions about the call, he's like, hey, my saturation temperature was this. I got this on my high side temperature. He's thinking temperature, which fantastic. So I like that the Hvac shows you that temperature, where the JB is only going to show you pressure, right? So it is what it is. For somebody like me, I'm using the JB probes. I'm so used to, because we do a lot of 404, a lot of 410A. I don't really install new equipment, so we haven't had to deal with any of the new ones yet. I really like hooking up the JB probe and then seeing like, oh, I got 10 PSI. Oh, I got 50 PSI. And then if I know what refrigerant it is, I'm like, okay, that's normal or not normal, right? So I already kind of have an idea before I open the app and stuff like that. So regardless, the screens are awesome. The JB just has, it does not have saturation temperature on the screen. They're a little bit longer and they're short. They're straight fitting. You have to get it comes with the 45-degree angle coupler, which are fitting, which works in most cases. I did have to get 90-degree fittings for Allied Commercial and I think Lennox because those are in weird positions. Other than that, the 45 works fine. The 45s are included. On the Hvac ones, well, the JB ones you can also charge without adding a fitting. So if you hook up your probes, you just hook up the hose to the back of the probe and you can add refrigerant or charge up or start your, new install, whatever it is. You can do it all without removing the probes or needing an extra piece, where on Hvac or any other ones, you're going to need the charging tee. And Hvac, like I said, it's a little bit bigger. No charging port. Saturation temperature is a plus on that one. And I think that's about it. I think they're pretty solid. Oh, the one thing. JB also takes, I believe it's AAA batteries. So if it dies, swap them out. You're good to go. Hvac is rechargeable, which I wish they would have figured out something a little bit better. But each one is a USB-C rechargeable probe, which is fine unless they're all dead for some reason, right? You've been using them. You always use your clamps and stuff like that. Well, the clamps I think might be battery powered actually. But let's say your psychrometers and your probes are dead, then you're going to have to charge one by one, or you're going to have several outlets to plug them all into. So that's kind of annoying. In that aspect, I wish they were battery powered. What is up? I appreciate that. Jimmy Wang, welcome to the members only club, right? Let me see. I've had my Testo probes for 6 and 7 years now. Might be time to get a new set before I'm left with non-operational ones. Had issues, but time isn't on my side. Oh, you don't use Bluetooth clamps. Love my field piece. I still have mine, but I'm seriously just might keep to what do you call it, to the JBs, just because of that charging port. Never look a gift horse in the mouth, but in Adrian's case, he needs to speak the truth because we're the ones that go out and buy it. So 100%. I mean, I had that whole explainer video that I think I laid it out pretty well. So many people hit me up, and it's viewers, and it could be comments, it could be a DM or whatever it is, and I get emails too asking for what should I buy, right? And this is somebody that I feel like nowadays there's a lot of business owners, but for the most part, it's just a technician somewhere that wants to buy their own tools. That happens quite a bit, right? The company you work for is only going to give you the old ass vacuum pump, right? The old ass Robin Air, whatever it is, old recovery, old analog gauges. Let's be realistic. That's what they're going to give you, right? Like to use. And we even had guys that we would buy tools for and would lose them, and we're like, all right, you've lost enough, we're not going to buy anymore, right? So a lot of times you're going to have to buy your own stuff. So that is my whole thing. And I've tried to be transparent, but you know, sometimes people just don't know how it works. They think, oh, he's a YouTuber, whatever, he must get everything. He must make a ton of money, right? So this year I've had more sponsors recently, which is fantastic, just to kind of pay for everything. But a lot of the tools, whether it's given to me or for whatever reason, the first thing I do is go look up the price. The first thing I do is see what they're good at or see how they work, and then when I get them, actually use it. Because if I wouldn't use it, I wouldn't tell anybody else to use it. So there's been, I will say, when I first started my channel, when I was like in the first year or two, I did take products to do videos, but then if it was bad, it made it in the video. And I would try to be like, look, this is just my experience, yada, yada, whatever. Some of them didn't like it, and they would make me, or what do you call it? Try to make me make a follow-up saying, for whatever reason, is why they didn't work, or something this, something that. Like, give a reason why that happened. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Like, if it messed up for me, just using them out in the field, it might mess up for somebody else. So I'm like, I don't think I need to explain anything. It's just, it happened, right? So I've had, in the past, I've had some videos that I do regardless of what happens. And now I still do that, but I try to take into account, like, if it's a reputable company or this and that. I had one, and I mentioned it in a video. If you guys have seen my videos in the past couple months, there was a leak detector, and everybody else was reviewing it. And I don't want to call out anybody, but it was that one Top Test. Top Test sent me a leak detector, and they were willing to pay for a video. And I couldn't. It didn't work. It picked up leaks, but you have to be on there for like 10 to 20 seconds. And I'm like, nobody's going to do that. They're going to go wave it around, and then like it goes off, and they're not going to be able to replicate, where it went off, because they're used to other ones that, will zone in on the leak. And I told them that, and they said they would try and improve that and not to worry about it and this and that. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't do a video. I can't even do an unboxing video, because somebody might buy it based on just me unboxing it. I've learned that doing this for a while now, that everything I do on the channel has consequences, or it influences somebody. So I won't even do an unboxing right now if it's trash. But I wanted to make sure that I showed it not working without, making a direct video to them. So I showed it in one of my videos on the rooftop, trying to find a leak, where my other one where my Hillmore picked it up, but my Top Test was acting funny. So that was my way of telling people, hey, you see it here. If you watch my videos regularly, it didn't work. Maybe not buy it, right? So that was my way around that, and that's just how we do things here. Mike, some of my field piece stuff is going out. Lost a temp probe, a magnet fell out of the other, and micrometer is glitched. Stuff is showing its age. I love field piece, and I will still stand by. If you don't know what to get as somebody new to the field, or you don't know where to begin, where to start, field piece is solid. You might have guys that will tell you spend a little bit more here or there, but if you don't know where to go and you want something that is priced reasonably, field piece is the way to go. I still have a lot of field piece stuff. It's just lately I've been more interested in other brands. So like I've been interested in getting back to Testo. I used to have some Testo stuff. I'm trying them out again. Um, JB kind of won me over by fixing their probes, right? So we're trying the JB ones for now. Um, Hillmore, I wish they would update some of their stuff because it still runs off of like micro USB, but their stuff has been pretty good. So I'm trying out their stuff now. And I don't know if Brian's here anymore. There's Elitech, right? I have some Elitech stuff. I don't use it regularly, but we've had Elitech stuff, and that is like super cheap compared to others. So I've been trying out different brands. I used to be strictly field piece, but I've been open to trying other things. But I still say if you don't know what to buy, if you don't know where to start, field piece is solid because it does like their meters and all that other stuff, their probes, the new field piece. I mean, the new leak detector is great that it can do everything. So I still say if you don't know where to start or what to get, field piece is hard to. They won't let you down. It is what it is. You get what you pay for, and I think it's really great. I'm trying to get my hands on that leak detector, but right now I'm running some Hillmore ones. So I haven't needed to buy some. I am looking to buy though. The Whisper. I had the Inficon. What was it called? The TechMate, the super old school one that took like D batteries. And that thing worked. It was a heated diode leak detector, and it worked great. I just got tired of the big ass batteries. I have not tried their Stratus or whatever it's called, but they have a Whisper, which is an ultrasonic that I'm super interested in trying out because I've had some weird leaks lately that are just not registering. And the only other alternative is to like blast it with nitrogen. But if I can get an ultrasonic that I trust, that would be kind of cool to pinpoint these super small leaks that are not visible. I appreciate that, Victor. Try to be honest. It's always been my thing. Because I feel so bad if somebody buys something that's trash. So the last update that I got, which like I said, I'm going to probably email them this week. The last update that I got was that the first batch of magnets that were going to be like the new magnets weren't good. So they had to start over. I don't know what that means. I don't know because it's supposed to be like I said, like on the other brands, the one that goes on the neck. I don't know how you're supposed to put it on because they're gonna supposedly give them to people that have bought them previously. Like you're supposed to get the new magnets. I guess you can get them like for free once they figure that out. I just don't know how you would put them on. So they said they were still too weak on the new batch, so they're still figuring that out. I hope they finally got it because I am annoyed with how long it's taken. And like I said, they're supposed to send me a set with the new magnets and the apps working and everything, so I can show you guys how they actually work. And then we're supposed to get another set to give away. So I'm gonna hold them to it, not because I want the set, because I want the giveaway set, and I might give mine away too if I don't end up using them. Like, well, I want those because they promised a giveaway, so I'm gonna hold them to it. Oh yeah, I gotcha. I'm gonna try it out. We'll see. Stratus is the shiznit. What is up? Music City HVAC. I think I've seen you under a different name, no? What's up, man? Still use the DR82 for regular. DRX3 is legit. Well, I'm getting into R290, which is why I'm looking into it. We have one. I have one for this week, but it's a restriction. It's just overamping, and it seems like it's clogged. And they've had issues with that one, so we're gonna open it up, clean it out, replace the dryer, and hopefully that takes care of that one. But the R290 has leaked a ton. I always find a bad evap coil on those R290 systems. Which textbook is better? Commercial refrigeration for AC techs or modern refrigeration? So commercial refrigeration for AC techs, I have both, is a much smaller, if I remember correctly. Yeah, because modern. Yeah, I think my modern one is there too. The commercial refrigeration for AC techs is a super small book compared to the others, and it's been a while since I've read it, but it's basically like if you have a basic understanding. That's why it's like it's for AC techs. So that is a good way to learn if you've already been doing some work, some AC work, or you've been around a little bit. Modern refrigeration, I forgot. I think that one's just more detailed. I can't remember which one that one is. Oh yeah, this one. So this is if like you want everything you need to know. And I want to say this would help you understand more basics. This is more of a crash course, like what you would need to know going from AC to refrigeration. And yeah, obviously more detail in the modern, but this book is highly recommended. Yeah, man, exactly. So we got a restriction on this one. Seems like yeah, a leak or restriction. Exactly. The new 134A. Yeah. No, he's talking about R290. It's the same issues we had as 134A. Yeah, I like. You're welcome. I like the commercial refrigeration for AC techs. That's one of the books that I like personally. Let's see. The which one? Oh, dude, you don't know how like. Well, I mean, you would know because you work on it too. But that's all I used to do was cap tubes, cap tube, cap tube, cap tube. Every freaking prep cooler or beverage cooler was always a cap tube. I got so good at it, and now we don't have that anymore, or like not as much. And I was like, man, I got like super good at replacing those or getting them by cutting it out. Sometimes if you got lucky, the ends would only be clogged. And then like when I had started, like I said, I could experiment more. I used to cut out a good chunk of it, braze it back, run it, and it would work. Yeah, we have a 513 that I converted back to 134 because I didn't have 513. There's too many refrigerants, man. I'm not gonna buy a whole other tank for 1 or 2 units that I've seen that are specifically 513. All right, man. Safe travels. We'll see you next time. Yeah, the trues. Yep. Oh, exactly. Because I'm hoping that all it is a restriction. But yeah, no high pressure switches. I initially thought, because my apprentice went out to go check it, he did a very good job. He cleaned it out. He's like, dude, that thing was packed. It was so dirty. You know, it took a while to clean out. And I tried to run it again, but the compressor immediately overamps. And he said it felt like in that time it was restricted. I'm gonna double check that because I'm gonna end up going on Tuesday when I have a little bit more time, so I can just kind of look at it again. And then I'm like, okay, if we have a restriction, then we'll do the repair. But exactly, a lot of those is always the condenser, and I tell the guys that all the time. Most likely, when you go to a reach-in, they're gonna be super filthy, so make sure you clean them out. And I usually tell the customer, we need to do this regularly because they get more and more sensitive, in my opinion. And if that kills, I've had actually the other R290 that I worked on, the compressor died. I had to do a compressor replacement. And actually, it might have been doing what this one's doing. I think no matter what I did, I'll have to think about that. I can't remember why we replaced it. I'm thinking it was also like overamping. But we're gonna attempt a flush out, dryer change out, and see if that works. Yeah, this one, I didn't ask him if it was what it was, because we had no, they're all cap tubes, right? Yeah, if it's not I don't think it's at the cap tube. If we have a restriction, it's somewhere outside. It could be like a dryer or something like that. But I need to go look at it. I'm gonna see if I can run it to see it myself, because he talked to our senior tech, and he said based on his experience that's what he's recommended. So if it's in the kitchen, it has to be cooking oil, right? Oh, what I was going to say on this one is I think they all have a headphone jack, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so I think it's called the AccuTrack. I don't know which one you guys have, like Matt. The AccuTrack, I think, if I'm not mistaken, requires headphones. I know it has a little LED on it, I believe, but I don't know. I don't remember if it does anything without the sound, like without the headphones. The Whisper one, I did like one that it was way cheaper. So there's that won me over. It's Inficon. It's a reputable brand, and you don't need any headphones. It kind of goes off as a regular leak detector. Like, it'll beep, and then the little indicator will go up and down depending on how bad the leak is. So it does have a headphone jack to hook up to, but I like that it just does the beep like as a regular leak detector. So I'm gonna try it out both ways and see how it works. But that is next on my list to buy. Okay, yeah, the AccuTrack. Yeah, I think they're all the same, or like those two. It's just one is $500 and one is like $1,000. So I'd rather get my foot in the door with the $500 one. So we'll see how I like it. Oh yeah, they have speakers, but like on the Whisper, it's not the sound, right? It's not. It might do it too. It might do the sound through a speaker, but it also does like a beep, like a slow beep or a rapid beep once you get closer to the leak. I think it's just meant to mimic a regular electronic leak detector. Well, that's my whole point with the Inficon one. So I'm gonna get it. I'll do a video on it. We'll test it out, and I'm hoping that you can use it both ways. Oh yeah, it's a big detector. See, with AccuTrack, I've asked Kurt about it, and he said it's like sometimes good, sometimes bad. I work outdoors a lot. Matt, you might have the same scenarios I do, but I work outdoors a lot. That's usually where my leaks are. RTUs, everything's outdoors. If that thing goes off with the wind or it's not usable in certain situations, that's what would suck. And what I've heard Kurt say about it is that it's harder outside, and especially if there's a lot of noise or background noise. So that's going to be the difficult part. Oh, okay. That is the difficult part. Which again, I'd rather spend $500 and figure out, oh, I can't use it for everything. But I think you can use it like a regular leak detector, and it'll just beep. Yeah. See, that's my whole thing. Mine needs to work outdoors, but if they don't work outdoors, then it is what it is. I'll buy it and try it out. Yeah, these ultrasonics, I've had some weird leaks lately that do not show themselves with even with soap bubbles. And I have a pretty good understanding of where the leaks typically are. And like 9 times out of 10, I'll um, actually guess right, if I want to put it that way. There was one I'm reminded of that I guessed wrong because I just couldn't find the leak. Um, oh, okay. It's the type of leak. Best for microchannels or deep in coil leaks, which I've had a few that I'm suspicious of that. And sometimes I can't pick it up with another leak detector. But missed on some joints. That is the hardest part, is like sometimes you actually need 2 or 3 different kinds of leak detectors. Because right now I'm using my heated diode, and that has been working pretty good because my, what do you call it? Infrared, I think the sensor messed up. So I'm gonna change it out and see if it fixes it. But I don't, I have a heated diode and an infrared right now, and I'm going to add an ultrasonic. I feel like today, for whatever reason, you need 2 or 3 to be pretty confident in any situation. The only other thing you can do, obviously, is pump it up with nitrogen and blast it. That way you find it for sure. But when you start doing that, it's because you got to take out the refrigerant or like contaminate the refrigerant by adding nitrogen. A lot of times these things are micro leaks where, those are the difficult ones to find, where the unit still has 90% of its charge or 80% of its charge, right? And do you want to remove it, spend a whole day, and, you find it for sure, obviously, if you do that and do all that work and then use nitrogen and find it that way, like you'll find it. But downtime is another thing, right? For a lot of like hospitals and certain places that we work at, downtime is not an option, right? So I'm trying to have just the right tools to be able to tell the customer confidently, this is your problem, this is a solution. Oh, okay, yeah. Makes sense. And if you get it wet, yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to end the stream. We've been on here a little bit longer. Appreciate everybody. Again, I'm going to get that whole Patreon. It's also going to be offered on YouTube memberships. I think Patreon comes out a little bit cheaper for you guys. I need to give away things. So I need to give away flashlights. I have some Milwaukee stuff to give away. Testo, a couple of Testo things. UEI is sending something. So like I said, all that stuff needs to go. Avito stuff for sure. And I think the best way for me right now, just to cover shipping, is to have you guys join that Patreon or join the YouTube membership. Make sure you read them, because the very first one is just like a supporter thing. The other ones are the giveaways, and if you want any other perks and stuff like that. So that's all in the description. That's all on the homepage of this channel. If you guys want to do that, go for it. If you don't worry about it. I never ask you for anything. This is just my way to cover cost of whether it's stickers, new designs, all that stuff costs money. Even doing the merch, that costs money to get started. Every design that I do. And then just to cover the shipping on these tools that I need to send out. So go check that out. Link in the description. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.